Welcome to an episode of the Root Culturist. In this episode, we'll discuss more on fertilizing platycerium. So these are the three that we're going to use: banana skin, chicken manure, and Osmocote. So let's dive into the Osmocote. This is a slow releasing fertilizer. It's a 14% nitrogen, 14% phosphorus, and 14% potassium. According to specifications, it's able to last 3 months after application. So we're using an orchid basket as a delivery point, also as a storage container. There's a hole in the basket itself at the bottom, which leads out to the other point and aids in the releasing of the fertilizer. This will be one of the less fuss-free and easier to use fertilizer. So how do you attach it or insert it into the plant? Using the Kichakuda example, we insert it at the backing, just behind the plant and on top of the moss. So it fits nicely and it's actually quite neat. So the Osmocote is released when you water the plant and slowly gets uptake by the plant. And we move on to banana skin as a fertilizer. Banana has an NPK of 0,342, quite high in potassium, which is good for the plant in the initial growth stage, but it's actually quite messy in the sense that when banana decomposes, it attracts a lot of insects and sometimes pests, for example, that you don't really want. So we're using bifurcatum, and we'll show you the delivery method just in a bit. To prepare the banana skin, cut it into little pieces. And once done, we can slot it at the back of the plant or in between the shoot fronds. So you can see we are slotting it in, and you could add this every once a month or every 2 months once. So you can see that we are actually more in favor towards Osmocote, but always bear in mind that there are different applications for different fertilizer. So not always one may be better than the other. And we move on to chicken manure as a fertilizing option. Here we have a beautiful radii, which we're going to use as the fertilizer model for today. And what you want to do is to just put it at the back of the plant. So we look into the NPK of chicken manure. The nitrogen ranges from 3 to 6, phosphorus ranging from 2.5 to 4, and potassium ranging from 1.5 to 3. So what does all this mean? This means that by having a higher nitrogen, it could lead to the plants getting burnt. Chicken manure, or even using a goat pellet manure, could be an option because fresh manure has a higher fertilizing efficiency. Depending on the size of the plant, you could add 1 to 2 tablespoons. In this case, we are adding about 3 to 4 for a small to medium sized plant. And then you could scale up or scale down depending on the size of the plant. For this case, adding manure, it's best to add probably every 6 months. So take note that in the wild, these plants, they do get fertilizer through decomposition of leaves that they collect. What you don't want to do is to over fertilize the plant, so just fertilize in moderation. Up next, we have something special. So we do our own Earthworm compost, and this is the Earthworm tea that comes out of it, the Earthworm leche. It really depends on what you add to your compost. For our compost, we add banana skin, durian husk, eggshells or calcium, and chicken manure. And what you end up with is a dark, rich, luxurious liquid. So we're going to use the radii and we're going to soak it. And you can soak it for a period of 2 to 5 minutes. You could do this at a weekly interval. As you can see, we use the raw liquid and don't do any dilution, but it is always better to do less than more, in the sense that You don't want the plant to be burnt. So the dilution would be 1 part liquid to 9 parts water. And then you could progressively scale up 2 parts liquid to 8 parts water. You just want to test whether the plant is acceptable to the kind of fertilizer that you use. Alternatively, you could use a sprayer for foliar spray instead. So this could be done at a weekly interval. Give us a like and subscribe to our channel if you liked our video, and also follow us on Instagram at The Root Culturist. See you next week on another episode of The Root Culturist. Thank you.